In a moment, I'm going to suggest that you steer your focus to the sound of your breath. This session will be about the creation of paratext for a website, possibly for a one sheet that goes to bookstores. This session is going to be about stepping back from the work you've been doing far enough that you can see it as a whole rather than being caught up in the beat by beat writing of it or the emotional resonance of the scenes. This is going to be about pulling back to find the overview of your own work once it feels too big to be contained in small paragraphs. I want you to steer your focus to the sound of your breath. Find this sound wherever you find it, in your nostrils or in your sinus cavity or in your throat or in your chest. And begin to ask yourself the simple question: I wonder what my next thought will be. Notice the experience of wondering. As you experience, do you wander? And I want you to remember and imagine a time during the work on your book when you were fully engaged, imagining the next moment, putting it to the page, lost in that part of the mind that combines memory and imagination to create story. And remember that as you wrote it, as you remembered and imagined the events that went to the page, you returned to the chaotic state of experience that you had that first time when events occurred and were not yet part of a story. Listen to the breath. Know that the writing of the story gave shape and form, meaning and intention to what was simply a series of events. Notice the shape you gave those events, the form they now take. From these events, notice what you took. Return to the room and, staying in this relaxed state, write down the following three questions. What are the central action beats of my story? What are the central emotional beats of this story? How does the hero grow? I want you to spend 15 minutes answering these questions using full sentences and paragraphs to do this. And then we'll come back, and from that material, we will begin to create paratext. Go to work. 15 minutes. From whatever you've developed on the page from all those three questions, whether it is bullet pointed lists, which some people do despite my saying complete sentences, or just a couple of ideas that you've made sentences about that don't really congeal yet, start to shape the connections between story points, emotional turns, uh, and between the story points, the emotional turns, and the hero's growth, the hero's shift from beginning to end. Ideally, if you're using any of the currently in vogue story structures, the hero's primary shift will take place in the third act. There will be an early shift that leads your hero into action,
Yes.
a second shift that changes the direction of their action, but
Yep.
there will still be some flaw standing in the way of their completion of what is needed
Yeah.
that must be confronted in the big third. And once you begin to look at the big piece in terms of those large chunk ideas,
Mhm.
you can shape the paratext that goes into descriptives. And sometimes it will mean giving away big plot points, spoiler alert moments. It doesn't matter yet.
Mhm.
While you're trying to sell the book to a publisher, they don't want to be left on a cliffhanger. They don't want to be wondering how will she? No, they don't want to leave on that. They want to know how this book ends, at least to some degree.